we have Adam Cohen here, and you might be familiar with Adam on Twitter, but he is a Social Security workers' comp lawyer and also the vice chair for a group called Lawyers for Good Government, which I'm a big fan of. So Adam, this is a tough position to put you in because every teacher in here knows that some are in just places where they're union protected and they're union strong. Some are in places with no union at all. Some are working for private schools, different setup, right? Charter schools. A lot of teachers want to know things like, what happens when we do take a picture of our empty bookcases in Florida? I'm luckily in New York City because I would have been fired a long time ago. What happens if we do walk out with our students tomorrow because there is a noon walkout from students' demand? What happens if we decide to go on strike? What about those teachers who went to the Capitol, the State House in Nashville? What happens to them? So I know that's a lot to ask you, but can you share with us some general insight without telling us to go on strike and then us calling you later and being like, well, actually, I lost my job?
Yeah, folks, don't lose your jobs, please. It's so frustrating because everybody wants to do something. Realistically speaking, you have First Amendment rights. There's no question about that. Away from the school, you do have that right. Is that what we call an unfettered right? You know, that you can do anything? Well, really, unfortunately, no. Because if you do something extreme that reflects poorly on the school, that can be cause for discipline. There are some, if you went on strike, there are some states in which it's illegal to strike, so you absolutely could be fired. New York, a very progressive state, comparatively speaking, they could take significant disciplinary action, fines, and other actions against you if you did. Now, it depends on the extent, the breadth of what you do. You know, if you just go to a demonstration, there should be nothing wrong with that. But if you go to a demonstration and you are caught with, you know, your friend's trusty phone, filming yourself like some of the January 6 folks doing something that you shouldn't do,
Right.
well, then you certainly can be subject not only to criminal
Right.
prosecution, but to job discipline as well. And think of it this way. Let's say you go to a protest, you do something fairly mild. The district, you know, Ron DeSantis sees it and you get caught on video and you are prominently displayed, even though you don't really do anything, and he wants to make an example of you. Could you sue to get your job back? You absolutely could. But there's a case that a lot of folks here may be familiar with, the football coach, and I think it was Kentucky, that was kneeling on the field after games. Supreme Court just decided this case a few months ago, decided in his favor. Good for him. Again, whatever you think of the prayer in a school activity, that's a different question. But he won the case. It took him 7 years.
Wow, 7, right. So that's the whole, thank you, Adam. And that's the thing, 7 years, well, that's a long time to be sitting on the sidelines, depending on where you are, maybe getting paid, but really scared about it. So, and, you know, just like, you know, it's principles versus paycheck, but unfortunately, most of us are not independently wealthy and we need those paychecks, right?